Okay, guys, we're going to get started. Today's workout is going to follow a similar template to what we did for the previous three. So we're going to start with some basic joint mobility work. So trying to make sure that we basically loosen out, warm up, and mobilize the big important joints in our body. Then we're going to go through a dynamic warm-up, which will get us moving around a little bit more, get the heart rate up, get us sweating slightly, and get us ready to do the workout basically. We're going to go into a little bit of balance and stability work. Then we're going to do a small bit of power work. And then we're going to finish with some muscular strength and endurance work using our body weight, which we've done in the last few workouts. Okay, so really simple. The first one that we're going to start with, I want you just to get a little bit of space on the floor. And then from here, you're going to have your hands about shoulder height. And you're going to extend up. Try to keep your belt line down. Get your chest up as high as you can. Hold for a second. Down under control. And then repeat. We're going to go for 15 of these to get started, okay? 15 reps. Try to feel like you keep your belt line down and extend up as much as you can. Okay, from there, we're going to go hands out in front, and you're going to sit your butt back to your toes, come up to the top, and then repeat. We're going to go 15 of those. So try to sit your butt as low as you can, down onto your heels. Just obviously stretching out your lower back. Okay, then from there, guys, we're going to do the works a bit more on our shoulders. So a lot of people get stuck in a rounded posture like this, which is really bad for our golf game. So what we're going to do here is a slightly different one, but you should get the hang of it after a couple of reps. So you're going to round over a little bit like this. And then from here, I'm going to imagine extending my chest up as much as I can. So from rounded to as extended as I can. You should feel a big stretch through your mid-back. Hold for a second. Round over, and then extend again. So we're going to go for 10 of these. You should feel a really big stretch and work in your shoulder blades as you do this. So rounding as much as you can, like bad posture, and then try and reverse it and extend your chest up as much as you can. So basically I'm thinking about the logo on my chest, pointing down to the floor, and then extending up as much as possible. Down to the floor, and then up as much as possible. Just really feel that loosening out the shoulders. Okay, the next one is going to be working on our hip mobility a little bit. So we're going to set up like this, and there's going to be two options. So the easier option is getting your hands and putting them behind you like this. The more you sit back, the easier it is. The more upright you sit, the harder it is. From here, you're going to try and keep your butt on the ground as much as possible, and you're going to roll both legs in one direction, okay? This is called the 90-90 hip test. I'm going to make that a little lower. Okay, so here, both down, up, and then the other. We're going to go 10 in each direction. It's working on internal hip rotation on this leg and external hip rotation on this leg. Okay, if you find that reasonably easy, I want you to get your hands up in front and then try the same thing, which is much, much tougher and will force you to use a little bit more strength at your hips. We're going to go 10 each side, 20 in total. To really feel this work in your hips. Really important we keep the hips nice and mobile for the golf swing. And it's just important for a lot of other gym exercises and just general everyday life. Okay, next time we're going to get up and we're going to go on to one knee. From here, we're going to be doing what are called dorsiflexions. All dorsiflexions is working on mainly ankle mobility and a little bit of knee mobility. So I'm going to be training the leg that's out in front. You're going to try and keep your heel down. That's the key. So my right heel is going to stay down. And then from here, I'm going to get my right knee to go as far past my toe as I can. Keeping my chest upright. So push this knee as far past as I can. Go back to the start and then go again. You might feel a little bit of stretch here, but I'm mainly trying to train this knee to get as far past my toe as possible. That's called ankle dorsiflexion. It's really important for things like squatting, and it's also important in the golf swing. Loads of people are limited in this, and that's one of the reasons why they fall forward in the squat a lot. So we're going to get 10 of those. You might feel it a little bit on the front of your foot here, or you might feel it a little bit in the Achilles and calf. So heel stays down, push the toe as far forward as you can. Okay, and then switch legs. So again, heel staying down, knee going as far forward as you can. Try and make sure on these two that the foot stays lined up straight ahead. What a lot of people will do is they turn their foot out and their knee will start coming in. So make sure your big toe stays down, heel and big toe are lined up, and then push the knee as far forward as you can. Okay, next one that we're going to do, so we did ankles, now we're going to move up to the hips. This one is a little bit tougher, so there's two options, okay? The easier option is setting up on your knees. The harder option is setting up on your feet. So like a push-up, except your hands are going to be together, okay? And then from here, what you're going to do, if you're doing the easy option, you're going to start on your knee. You're going to try and keep that plank-like position. And then from here, with as little movement as possible, you're going to try and pull one leg up and get the heel in line with your ankle. Sorry, to get your ankle in line with your wrist. Down to the start, and then the other leg. So you'll feel a lot of work on the hips to try and get into this position. If you want to do it from here, up tall, you're going to pull your foot as far forward as you can. Try to keep your hips the same height, and get your ankle up in line with your wrist. We're going to go for 8 on each side. So maintaining that plank position and trying to pull your foot directly outside your wrist. So your ankle and wrist getting in line when the foot lands is good for this one. So really working on the hip mobility on this one. Probably feel your abs working a little bit on that one as well. Okay, next one we're going to stand up. And then from here, you're just going to go hip circles, so as big a circle as you can. 10 in one direction. Good, keep going 10 one way. And when you've 10 done, we're going to go 10 the other way. Good, 10 one way, and then 10 the other way. Okay, we're going to do a shoulder one now. How we do this is very important. So what I want you to make sure of is that you get both your elbows to the same height as your shoulder. And what we're going to be doing is what's called externally rotating our shoulder this way.
But what I want you to make sure of is feel like you're almost in a mini crunch position with your torso. Most people, as they're doing this, they just lean back with their upper body, arch at their lower back, lean back with their chest. Whereas what we really want to get working is this arm here. So feel like you keep that mini crunch, and we're going to go for 10 of these, okay? Slow and controlled, pausing in the position where you can't go any further. And make sure that you're not leaning back. So nice and slow and controlled. You notice there's no pulling back at my elbow. It's staying in line with my shoulder, and I'm just rotating back. We're going to get 10. This is called external shoulder rotation, and really limited in golfers a lot of the time, especially if you're stuck over a desk a lot, that gets limited. Okay, then we're going to go for our neck. So really simple, keeping your shoulders nice and low. You're going to turn your head one way, nice and slow, and then the other way. We're going to go 5 in each direction, so 10 in total. And then last one in the warm-up, we're going to get some wrists. So you're going to go your hands out in front like this. My knuckles are pointed down. I'm going to bow my wrists down as much as I can. So like this, bow down as much as I can, and then flex up as much as I can. I'm going to go for 20 of these, so 10 in each direction. So most people never do any mobility work for their wrist and forearms. And how your wrists move, or if they can move, is really important in the golf swing. So 20 of these in total. Just feel a little bit of stretch up your forearm, maybe a little bit in your wrist. Okay, so we just finished the first section of the workout, which is the joint mobility. So we did some spine, we did some hips, we did some ankle, we did some knee, we did some shoulder, some neck, and some wrist. So the main joints that we need to keep mobile for the golf swing. Now we're going to move a little bit more onto dynamic mobility, or sorry, dynamic warm-up, which works on mobility, but will also get the heart rate up and get you breathing a little bit heavier too, okay? So first one, nice and simple, is going to be heel rocks. So we did this last, so you're going to come up onto your toes, pushing through your big toe, hold for a second, come down, and then rack up onto your heels as much as you can. So toes and heels, getting up as high as you can on each one. We're going to go for 15 of these. So you should feel it in your calves a lot as you press up onto your toes, and then in your shins a lot as you come up onto your heels and get your toes off the ground. Okay, the next one that we're going to do is going to be what's called a reverse lunge with kneel. So it's similar to a regular reverse lunge, but challenges the stability a little bit more. So I want you to stand with one leg up at 90 degrees like this, and then the leg that's down, that's not going to move for 8 reps. Only this one is going to be moving. So staying up nice and tall, you're going to step back, drop into a lunge, allow the knee to hit the floor, and then bring the knee back up in front. Staying up nice and tall with our posture, knee up tall, keep your balance, down and up. So that's 3, as tall as you can, keep your balance, down and up. We're going to get 8. So same leg for 8 in a row. So we're getting mobility and stability on this, and obviously you'll feel the heart rate increasing a little bit. Okay, then we're going to switch legs. So the other leg is going to go up. You're going to step back and then up. So you probably feel it on the quad and glute on the leg that's out in front. Good. Okay, guys, well done. The next step we're going to do is going to be similar, except we're going to be going laterally or sideways. So you're going to start with your feet together, and then for 8 in a row, I'm going to keep my left leg where it is, and I'm going to make sure that my left foot stays pointed dead straight ahead. I'm going to sit into my right side as deep as I can, and then from here, I'm going to come up and knee across my body. So I'm going to sit, come up, and knee across my body. As I knee and rotate, the stability on the standing leg is really challenged. So this is reasonably similar to how you turn into your lead leg in the golf swing and needing this leg to be stable as you knee up and drive across. Okay, now we're going to go the other way. Sitting as deep as you can, both toes stay, or both feet stay pointed dead straight ahead all the time. You don't want the toes turning out. Good. Nice, guys. Okay, the next one is going to be squats with an overhead reach. So just watch how I do this. Most people get the steps wrong. So I'm going to start with my hands out in front, slightly pointed down. I'm going to squat as low as I can under control. Pause for a second in the bottom position. So that's going to be step 1. Step 2 is going to be raise my hands overhead as high as I can. Step 3 is stand up. Then hands are going to go back out in front, okay? So down, pause for a second, raise my hands overhead without standing up, and then come up. Hands out in front, squat down, raise my hands up as high as I can, and then up. That's 3. We're going to do 8. Raise hands up, and then overhead. So the key is to be down in the bottom position as your hands raise. What a lot of people do on this is they stand up and then raise their hands. It's no good. So sit, hold, raise your hands as high as you can. You feel it in your upper back and shoulders, and then stand up. So you notice straight away how this is a little bit different to the mobility work, in that the heart rate's getting much higher. Okay, the next one that we're going to do is going to be a toe touch, or like a toe touch, but we're going to use our legs as assistants to get a little bit deeper. So you're going to set up with your feet together. I want you to hinge over as much as you can. When you get as low as possible, I want you to grab behind your knees or behind your calves, however low you can go to. In that bottom position, I want you to breathe in. And then as you breathe out, I want you to use your legs to pull your chest closer to your shins as you breathe out. And then up to the top. So down, grab your legs, breathe in. Then as you breathe out, try to pull your chest closer to your shins. We're going to go 8. You should notice you can get a little bit deeper each time, and you're just using the pull on the legs to assist you getting deeper. Okay, excellent, guys. The next one that we're going to go into is just going to be a little bit more for the trunk and upper body. It's called plank transitions. So you can do this either from your knees or from your feet. Basically, just so you know, I'll be explaining it anyway, but anytime we do a plank or push-up variation. If it's too hard, just go to your knees. If it's too easy, go to your feet. That will work for all of the plank or push-up like movements. So for this one, you're either going to start on your knees or on your forearms. And all we're going to do from here is go one arm up, the other arm up, one arm down, the other arm down. Okay? Or you can do it from your feet. We're going to go for 5 with one arm starting first, and then 5 with the other arm starting first, okay? So I'm going to start with my forearms, and then I'm going to go left arm first, up and down. So I'm going to go left, right, left, right. That's 1, left, right, left, right. That's 2, 3. Okay, that's 5. So now I'm going to go right arm first. Try to keep your hips nice and still on these. You don't want too much twisting. Okay, and take a second. So that is section 2 done, guys. We've done we did joint mobility number 1, and now we've just done a dynamic warm-up number 2. So you're probably sweating a lot more now and have the heart rate up a little bit. The next thing that we're going to go into is some stability and balance, okay? If you have a golf club or a broomstick or anything that works like that nearby, grab it, and in 30 seconds we're going to get started, okay? If you don't have one, just get a drink of water. So something like broomstick or a golf club. Okay, guys, real simple. The first exercise that we're going to do, again, it has 2 options, okay? So you're going to get your broomstick, your golf club. You can put it across your shoulders in front, or if you have enough flexibility, put it behind here, okay? You're going to get into a split stance. So I'll show you the 2 options. My left leg is going to stay still. My right leg, I'm going to slide back along the floor as much as I can, which is going to force my torso to fall forward. So if I show you from this position, I'm going to push my right foot along the ground, allow my shoulders to lean forward. And then from here, I'm going to get a big stretch in this hamstring. Keeping that angle, I'm going to try and turn into that front leg as much as I can. Pause, come back to the start, and up to the top. Slide my toe back, big hinge, turn, center, up to the top, okay? So we're all going to do that for 8 reps. You ready? So left foot, and if you don't have a golf club, you can just go hands on your shoulders or hands behind your head. Same thing. Shoulders, head, or golf club in front or behind. Ready? Let's go. So all the way on the front leg, toe going back, big hinge over, turn into that front leg, back to the center, slide back to the top. Make sure as you're doing this that you keep the leg that's in front flat on the floor and you allow your chest fall forward. That's 2, 3, we're going to go to 8. This is really working stability on the lead leg. So I'm working my left leg now. I'm a right-handed golfer. So that's really similar to how my hip needs to work in the downswing so that I can pulse up onto my left side towards impact and the follow through. Last one. Should really feel this starting to work the butt cheek on the leg that's out in front. Okay, take a break for a second so I really feel that on the left thigh on the leg that's out in front. We're going to go the other leg. I'm going to show you from the front view, okay? So what I want you to really look at is my front leg. I'm not going to have any rolling to the outside with this foot. I'm not going to have any twisting at my knee or hip. I'm going to keep my right big toe glued to the floor. My knee is stable, my hip is stable. Okay, ready? We're going to go for 8 now on the other side. So slide back with the toe, allow the chest to fold forward. You'll notice the logo on my shirt disappears, or close to disappears, and then turn. Pause, come back to the start, and up. Okay, excellent guys, that's 8. So you should be feeling that a lot in the glute on the side that's out in front. So that's obviously more for lower body, your glutes, your ankles. The next one we're going to do is a little bit more trunk and upper body. So like I was saying a second ago, you can do this from your knees or from your feet, okay? I'll show you one from my knees and one from my feet before we get started. So here, and then what we're going to try is an opposite arm and leg raise. So I'm going to try and extend one arm and the opposite leg that way, or from a push-up position, one arm and the opposite leg. The goal is I'm doing this, okay? If I had, you don't need this, but I should be able to balance something on my lower back as I do this. It shouldn't fall off as I go one arm and the opposite leg. It should be able to not have too much twisting, okay? So let's try that. We're going to go for 6 on each side. You don't need to stick on your back, it's just to illustrate, okay? So keeping your lower back nice and solid, either from your knees or from your feet. You don't need to come very high off the ground, just a couple of inches. 6 on each side. Really good. So the idea of that one, guys, is that when you're in your setup position, you have 2 hands and 2 feet, or 2 hands and 2 knees on the ground. So that is 4 points of stability. When you raise one hand and the opposite leg, that reduces to 2 points of stability. And what you'll notice then is your trunk tries to twist to regain stability. So we're training trunk or core stability by learning how to keep this stable when the environment gets less stable, when one hand and one foot comes off the ground. If you get more stable through here, then it's way easier to transfer force from the legs through the trunk and into the upper body. If this is weak and unstable, you tend to either just spin or you tend to get dragged around, swaying back and forth. So the more solid we can get here, the easier it is to get force from the legs, through the trunk, and into the upper body. Okay, the next one that we're going to do is go back to the one we did with the golf club. We're going to try to make it a little bit harder this time, okay? If you were able to keep your balance, this one the last time, what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to get the back leg completely off the ground. So watch me do one of these. I'm going to get my foot is off the ground. I'm going to get my balance set. Then from here, once I have my balance, I'm going to lean over as far as I can. And then from here, I'm going to rotate it to that lead side, back to the center, and come up. And this leg isn't going to touch the ground until I have 8 done. So for 8 in a row, it's only going to be my left leg on the ground. You can start whenever you're ready. Just really feel this stressing the ankle and the glute, so your butt cheek on the leg you're standing on. Okay, whenever you're done, we're going to do the other side. So get your balance set on the leg you're standing on. Once you have your balance set, hinge over. You notice the logo on my chest starts to disappear. Turn, center, and then hinge back up. So this is a really good way of working on mobility and flexibility on the hamstring of the leg you're standing on, and also hip stability. So we're getting mobility and stability with this exercise. Some people will call that flexibility and balance rather than mobility and stability. Basically the same thing. Okay, when you've got done, guys, we're going to go back for one more set on the plank with the alternate raises. So opposite arm, opposite leg. I'm going to go for 6 each side. I'm going to go from this view so you can see arm. I go this way a little bit. So you can see arm and leg on the opposite sides moving, okay? Ready? Let's go. So hands and feet are pretty narrow. Trying to stay as still as you can at your lower back and hips, like there was a glass of water and you didn't want it to spill left or right. Okay, get a quick drink when you've that finished. Okay, good stuff, guys. So that is now our mobility, dynamic warm-up, and stability finished, the 3 different sections. We are now going to go into a little bit of power and speed work, which can be difficult to do from home with no equipment, but we're going to try our best, okay? So the first one will be really simple. The only thing I'll say about this, if you have an ankle or Achilles or knee or hip injury, just be careful with this. It's going to be a vertical jump. If you can't jump, just do a squat instead, okay? So we're going to go hands on hips. Make sure there's nothing above your head that you're going to hit. You're going to go your feet about shoulder width, and then from here, you're going to go down fast. Let me do one first to show you the landing. So I'm going to go down, up, and land, okay? Down, up, and land. We're going to go for 8 of those. It's key as you drop down that your feet stay flat on the floor. Sometimes people get pulled up onto their toes. Keep your feet flat, okay? Ready? We're going to do 8 reps. Go. So jumping, really good for lower body power. The more pressure you can push into the ground with, the easier it is to get some force in your swing. Jumping is a really good way to train that type of power. For the next one, I want you to grab whatever stick or golf club you had. If you don't have a stick or golf club, you can also hold a water bottle out in front. So stick or golf club or water bottle. Or anything like that is good. Up nice and tall, kneeling up tall. You're going to get your hands to shoulder height. hips still. So no turning at my hips, but a lot of turning at my chest. Hands up in front, and then as fast as possible, I'm going to go 10 reps in each direction like this. So we're going to go for 20. Excellent. So when you're rotating quickly like that, you're getting a big stretch across your obliques, and then pulling and getting a big stretch across the obliques on the other side. That's similar to how we create power in the swing, where you get the hips turning, big stretch across the midsection, and then pinging to the ball, okay? If you have any weights at home and you want to do that another time, you can just hold like 3 to 10 pounds out in front and do the same thing. We're going to go back to the jumps now. So hands on hips, up nice and tall, and go for 8. Okay, when you have the 8 jumps done, guys, onto your knees again. Grab the stick, up in front, and then from here, we're going to go for 20 as hard as we can in each direction. And remember on this, okay, we're trying to get some separation. So if I put something across my shoulders, it would have turned a lot, but my hips haven't turned much at all. And it's that separation that gets a big stretch across the midsection and makes this exercise effective. I don't want your hips turning, just your chest turning, okay? Ready? Let's go for 20. Excellent, well done. For the next exercise, guys, I should have given you a heads up for a little bit of equipment, but I think you will all have this nearby. I want you to grab, if you have it, something like a kitchen chair or a footstool or something like that, okay? Anything that you can use similarly. Okay, so we are going to use the chair. If you have one, if you don't have one, I'll show you an option for that too. We're going to do what's called a rear foot elevated split squat, which is a really good exercise for lower body strength and balance, okay? If you haven't done these before, I suggest using whatever golf club or stick you had for balance. This is what I want you to do. So go with this in time with me. Get one foot and put it, so get one foot pretty far away from the bench. Get the other foot up on the bench so there's just the ball of your foot and your toes on it. Then from here, get on the ground, okay? In the bottom position, I want this knee pretty much over my ankle or slightly in front of it, but definitely not out here and definitely not too far ahead. My back foot, I want just enough of my foot on the bench or on the chair so it's not going to fall. If you need something for balance, hold your stick out in front, okay? And then from here, we're going to come up to the top position, all right? I'm not going to use a stick for these, but if you want it for balance, you can. From here, really simple, keeping my balance. I'm going to drop down under control until this knee tips the floor, and then come back up to the top. Down under control, and then back up to the top. If you don't have anything to put your foot on, just go 1 foot forward, 1 foot back, and drop down and up, okay? If you can't keep your balance, use a stick or a golf club, 1 foot behind, 1 leg in front, and then you can use that to help you keep your balance, or you can use it to push down with your upper body to help your strength, okay? We're going to go for 10 of those. Good, well done. As soon as you're finished, we're going to go the same on the other leg. I think these are easier to get started by beginning on the ground, because then you know that you have your feet in the right position and you're the right distance away from the bench, okay? Again, if you need your stick, or if you just need to do it standing, that's fine. Ready? Let's go. So the key on this is 95% of the weight on the front leg, the foot is flat on the floor, and I'm pushing through the very middle of my front foot. You'll feel this a lot on the thigh and butt cheek on the forward leg. And again, if you don't have a chair or anything like that, or if you don't have the strength to do it, just a regular split squat will work fine too. Okay guys, the next one is going to be an upper body one. We're going to do a slight variation on a push-up, okay? So we're going to put our body in a position that almost turns a push-up rather than a horizontal or straight out and forward push. We're going to make it almost like we're doing a vertical push-up, okay? So there's two options. You can do it on your knees. And what I want you to do if you're on your knees, okay, is get your shoulders and push them as far in front of your hands as you can, okay? And then from here, what I want you to feel like is that your head and chest come down as much as possible, and then push up, okay? So you're gonna get your shoulders as far in front of your hands as you can, down, and then up. So it's almost like a shoulder press rather than a push-up. If you want to do it from your feet, you're gonna come into a push-up position, you're gonna hike your butt way up, again, get your shoulders as far in front of your hands as you can, and then it's almost gonna be like a vertical push-up. So down, and then up. So it's going to be much more shoulders and tricep than chest. So either shoulders in front on your knees, like this, or like this. Okay? We're going to try 8 of those whenever you're ready, whatever variation you need. So you feel this a lot on your shoulders. Get that in the abs a little bit too. Okay, guys, we are going to do those 2 exercises once more. So we're going to do the split squats and the push-ups, and then we'll be done, okay? So get your chair. One foot out in front, the other foot down behind, and then from here we're going to power up. Keep your balance, down and up for 10. Good, switch legs when you're done. So I think it's easier to start from the bottom position, but if you can keep your balance from the top, that's fine too. Okay, and then whenever you're ready, we're going to go into those push-ups again, guys. So the further you get your weight in front of your hands, the harder it will be. Work, guys, well done.
that is it for today's workout. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to stay on the chat for the next 10 or 15 minutes. If anybody has any questions, you can just type them in the chat, and I'll be happy to answer them by audio as soon as I get my breath back. So if you have any questions, you can just type them in. I hope you enjoyed it, guys. The next one is going to be Sunday, 10 a.m. Pacific time, 1 p.m. Eastern, and 6 in Ireland and the UK. And in about 2 or 3 hours' time, you will get a full recording of today's workout, so you can do that in your own time whenever you like. But thanks a million, guys. If you have any questions, just type them in, and I'll go through them. Thank you. You're welcome, guys. Not many questions coming in, but a lot of thank yous. You're very welcome. Okay, so Hazel, what can you do to improve your balance? What I would say about improving your balance is practice things where you can keep your balance. So really simple. Try with starting, just standing on one leg, keeping your balance, and hold. Once you can get about 10 seconds on each leg, then try the same thing, but where you're turning a little bit, which would challenge your balance a little bit more. Once you can do that, you can try doing some balances with your eyes closed. Once you can do that, then you can do some eyes closed and turning. But I bet you find that literally just spending a little bit of time every day where you're on one foot and keeping your balance will improve it very quickly. The other thing I would say about balance is if you're wearing shoes, take them off. When we're wearing thick sole shoes, we can't really feel where our feet are on the ground. So in the reach drill, I would go as far as you can while keeping control. That'll be a little bit different for everybody, but I would only go as far as you can while keeping control, and then as you gradually improve it, go a little bit further. But don't try and force yourself to go further than you can control, otherwise you lose your balance and you won't really be improving at all. So take it nice and easy, just go as far as you can, and then gradually increase. Good question, Alex. So I've done a little bit of posting on social media recently about how important cardio is for golf. And that's mainly in response to all the more recent posts of some of the pros doing really, really high intensity, long duration Peloton sessions and stuff like that. So with golf, it's not so much the cardio isn't important, it's that once you're at a reasonable level of cardio, getting any further benefits won't really have much impact on your golf. If you're going to do some cardio work, I like doing things where you're still getting some explosive movements. So if you're going to be doing running, something like where you're sprinting for about 5 seconds, which would take you through about 30 or 40 meters, turn, walk back to the start line, get your breath back for a minute or two, and repeat. You could do something like 10 to 12 of those in a session. You'd still find that your heart and lungs are working very hard, but you're also working on your explosiveness, and you'll be maintaining or even increasing muscle mass much better. Just if you haven't sprinted before, the first few sections you do that, make sure that you do no faster than 75 to 80%, because sprinting when you're deconditioned from it is a really good way to tear your hamstrings. And it's not even so much that cardio is bad for golf. That's not what I'm trying to, the message I'm trying to display. It's more so that if you're trying to increase strength and explosiveness and enhance your club head speed, cardio will not do anything for you. You're welcome, Alex. No worries. Okay, I'm going to leave it there for today, guys. Thanks a million. And hopefully I will see you Sunday. I will talk to you then, all right? Thanks very much.